Hi, I'm here to just give you some basic information on choke chains and pinch collars that you might decide to use on your dog. Unfortunately, a lot of people will try to get the wrong idea on it or purchase one in a pet store and get no information on how to properly use it. You will get bashed for using it, saying that it is medieval and cruel. I believe that cruelty would be training a dog and correcting it, and the dog has not known why it has been corrected. Okay? There's always right and wrong ways, whether it be chokes, prongs, halties, collars, e-collars, all the gadgets that are out there. Can't abuse an animal because these are tools, okay? You're not meant to be lifelong on the dog, essentially, unless the dog has had traumatic experience and will need it. The first one will be a choke chain. It is a metal chain, okay? Comes in multiple sizes. Depending on the size of your dog, you'll have a larger chain. Smaller dog, a smaller chain. When put on correctly, okay, you will correct the dog by the quickest snap. Once the snap is obtained, slack is given. The dog feels a quick pressure around the neck. That is all. It is not meant to be dragging your dog where it's coughing and hacking. This is where you get the dog's constant coughing, hacking, and yes, you can damage the dog's larynx and other muscles and organs around the neck and head area. It's a very quick snap. Okay? Always have slack. If it's on incorrectly, when you correct the dog, it will remain choked, hence a choke chain. This is not good for people to keep these choke chains on all the time in the house, especially unattended, where this can get caught on furniture or a handle on a drawer or even outside on the fence and will choke the dog to death, or even left on in the crate. So please try to remove these if your dog isn't supervised. The next type is the prong collar. Okay, different sizes. This is for a small dog, very hard to find. Usually you'll see them on large dogs, and it's not because they're more vicious or aggressive. It's just that large dog owners tend to have a more responsibility, feeling that they have a large dog and we need the responsibility to contain the animal. Rather than a small dog, you just simply put it on a flexi. Most people do because they think it's not going to harm anyone, where in fact I think that walking a dog beside you, there's a great bond, and you need to train the dog to walk beside you, and that going off alone on ahead of you all the time, 100% of the time, is not a healthy relationship. I'm sure once in a while it's great, but once again we need training devices to help the dog heal, and sometimes collars just work a lot better to dogs that aren't food oriented or they have a full stomach or whatnot, and we need to find other options. Back to the prong. The prong was actually invented by a veterinarian, okay, and it does not dig into the dog's neck. If it did, the spikes would be straight. Instead, the spikes are bent. This collar sits high up on the neck. It never sits below the shoulder, where the chest is. This encourages a dog to pull. That is why a halter allows dogs to pull, and they feel the need to pull. If you feel pressure on your shoulder, you're not going to lean back. You're going to want to push into it. This is where dogs usually lower their head and they pull. This is why a halter is great for weight-pulling dogs and sled dogs. Up here, if you ever watch conformation shows, Westminster Kennel, etc., the collars are always kept high. Just like a horse, where the head goes, the body follows. So by using this collar and the choke, or the choke, up high on the neck, we can manipulate the dog with the slightest amount of pressure. So this would become undone. You would place it around the dog's neck. If the dog was on your left, you would place it like so. There's only prongs on half of the collar. Okay? It is meant to only put pressure on the side of your dog's neck. You would be walking here, and the dog's head would be here, and it is also a quick snap. Never apply this onto a flexi lead or a 15-foot line or something where as soon as a dog runs out of rope, it corrects itself. It doesn't know why it's being corrected, and this can damage a dog's esophagus very much so, because usually when it is being used on an improper leash or the dog is walking ahead, the prong will slip down and these prongs will be in front of the voice box, and when the correction comes through, yes, it definitely could injure the dog. But once again, the prongs are placed on half of the collar, meant to go on half of the dog's neck, and used as very quick implements on the side of the neck to apply pressure. It's to mimic another dog's bite. This is all to correct a dog that, no, this is not what we ask. We ask for a heel, or a sit, or a down. Implemented only through training, never left on all day where a dog can be desensitized to it. And that's basically it. I'm not prohibiting it or encouraging it. I'm just allowing people who have never used one or are skeptical that these are the basics, and you have any questions, or even if you want to bash, that's fine. Feel free to leave a comment. And I'm just here to educate people, because I see 90% of people with these on the wrong dogs, or the wrong setup, on the wrong leashes, or they might not even need them. And it's just better to educate the public out there, because there's not enough people doing it. Okay? Thank you very much.